Realme's number series have always been one of the best answer to the dominance of Xiaomi in the mid-range segment. Feature by feature, spec by spec, Realme matched up to its rival and even one-upped them with features like a 90Hz refresh rate display, super fast charging and much more. And all that and more are back in the Realme 7 series, and as usual there's the Realme 7 Pro and the regular Realme 7. Hi, I'm Shubhajit from Digit.in, and in this video we're going to be reviewing the Realme 7. Now what was once an entry-level series have slowly over time become quite expensive, and it has also added a few new features down the line. The Realme 7 also does the same. It comes with a brand new processor, sort of a new design and a few more new features. But the fact remains, whether the Realme 7 will still be considered an entry-level smartphone, or is it good enough now to take on the biggest mid-rangers in India? Let's find out. The Realme 7 has big shoes to fill, as it comes from a massively popular lineage of smartphones, and Realme doesn't really tamper with an already proven formula, except to endow the Realme 7 with some obvious upgrades. So you still have the 90Hz refresh rate, 6.5-inch LCD display, the 30-watt fast charging and the 64-megapixel quad camera. What's new is the debut of the MediaTek Helio G95 inside, which becomes the most powerful in MediaTek's budget gaming lineup. And correspondingly, there's also a new cooling system. Oh, and also a larger battery as compared to the Realme 6 of 5000 mAh capacity. The design is newer, although the material is still polycarbonate with Gorilla Glass 3 on the front. But you do get a more subtle, refined design that has a split gradient finish that feels silky smooth in the hand. A side-mounted fingerprint sensor, thin bezels, and a rather large punch-hole selfie camera complete the design. It feels a little bulky, but I could get used to it. And it also feels nice and smooth while using it. The Realme UI brings more of the same features as before and is well optimized for the new chipset. I didn't feel much of lag when using the phone, even with most of my apps installed. It could be early days and there's not much wear and tear which tends to slow phones down, but so far so good. The benchmark scores tell that the Realme 7 remains competitive among its peers and rivals like the Poco X2, Redmi Note 9 Pro Max and the previous Realme 6. However, in some cases like in Antutu, the Realme 7 scores unexpectedly high, beating all its rivals. This isn't reflected anywhere else in other benchmark apps, however, and the score is likely due to MediaTek artificially boosting CPU performance when it detects a benchmark app running. But you don't really have to rely on benchmark to tell this is a smartphone that works reliably fast. Apps won't keep you waiting and the phone unlocks in a jiffy with just a slight press on the power button. Interestingly, the banned Chinese apps which used to be pre-installed in Realme smartphones before are now nowhere to be seen. Still, there are a few third-party apps like Soloop and WPS Office and more, and can be removed completely if needed. But the biggest advantage of having the MediaTek Helio G95 under the hood is of course gaming. With a 4-core ARM Mali G76 GPU clocked at 900 MHz, it's really the fastest GPU you get on a MediaTek chipset in India, and this allows the phone to push the limits of gaming in this price range. Having played a few rounds of PUBG Mobile, which got banned just an hour after recording this video, and Call of Duty Mobile, the Realme 7 felt quite good at gaming. 15 minutes of playing PUBG Mobile delivered 30 frames per second with 100% stability, and the Realme 7 didn't seem that stressed at all. Call of Duty Mobile also ran at 55 frames per second with 96% stability, and I felt no problem raking in some kills. You can trigger the competition mode in the GameSpace app to silence notifications while playing. There's also a nifty sidebar with all the necessary controls like screen recording, CPU and GPU usage and more. The good thing is you can run games like Call of Duty Mobile with all graphic settings turned on and still get good FPS to play. But that's enough about performance. It's time to test out the cameras. Realme seems to be the biggest taker for the 64-megapixel camera sensor, and the Realme 7 is yet another offering with a 64-megapixel quad camera. What's new? Nothing much except a new tuning algorithm and a starry mode for now. Later, Realme said features like Pro mode and AI mode will arrive for the 64 megapixel photos. In the day, the 64 megapixel camera uses pixel binning to output photos at 16 megapixel that look good when seen casually, but examine it a little and it becomes clear that there's room for improvement. The Realme 7 outputs colors that look highly saturated, and surprisingly, even with a 64 megapixel sensor, there's very little detail when you zoom in. There's also lower sharpness around the edges and sometimes even noise in the shadow. By the looks of it, there's a lot more work to do to make the Realme 7 closer to what the Redmi Note 9 can output with its 48 megapixel quad camera. There's a noticeable difference in the way the two smartphones handle sharpness, dynamic range, and white balance, and between the two, I'm more inclined to pick the Redmi Note 9 here. The Realme 7 also comes with a fleshed out night mode that works with both the primary camera and the ultra-wide lens. Now this is something Realme has made available on most of its offerings, and while it looks good on paper, the output isn't quite useful from the ultra-wide lens. The 64 megapixel camera still outputs bright photos that are seemingly sharp using the night mode provided your subject is not moving. Here's how the photos come out using the normal mode and the night mode. The ultra-wide lens is good enough to be used in the day, but not much after the sun sets. In the day, the colors are just as saturated as before, and the dynamic range is expectedly lower as compared to the primary camera. This inconsistency was tackled well in the Realme 6 Pro earlier this year, but it looks like we're back to square one again with the Realme 7. There's also a macro lens in the setup that's better left unused. I still don't see why Realme just can't use the primary camera to deliver close-ups. The 64 megapixel camera should be able to handle macros, considering more pixels and the large sensor size, yet the company sticks to offering a dedicated macro lens that's quite inept at capturing the details we seek from macro shots. Sure, it lets you focus much closer to the subject, but no good if it's not giving out a detailed output. As for videos, the Realme 7 can go up to 4K at 30 frames per second and 1080p at 60 frames per second. The 4K output is neither sharp nor stable. At 1080p, however, the quality improves a lot, but there's still aggressive shakes as you move around with the camera in your hand. There's also an ultra steady mode, which is practically useless as the quality goes down drastically and motion blur is introduced. Oh, and there's also a 16 megapixel selfie camera on the front with a night mode and a portrait mode. But the thing is, selfies aren't the best detail. Skin smoothing algorithms removes all spots and blemishes from the face and also takes away the facial details. Indoors and in low light, there's also considerable noise in the photos. And if I have to sum up the camera performance, I would say the 64 megapixel quad camera stack is best for capturing landscape shots in the day, and expectations need to be lowered for selfies and videos. Now moving on to the display, the Realme 7 rocks the same 6.5-inch Full HD Plus LCD display with 90Hz refresh rate. It used to be unique when the Realme 6 launched, but with the Realme 6i and the Oppo A53 in place, the Realme 7's 90Hz refresh rate suddenly doesn't feel so special anymore. It's still a good panel to watch movies and play games on, but outdoors the display looks washed out thanks to lower peak brightness. Lastly, the battery life. Realme upgraded the Realme 7 to a 5000 mAh battery with 30 watts fast charging support, and this combination is one of the best you will get at this price. The battery easily lasts well over a day, and I only had to charge the phone once in between testing it out for the review, and it only took around 70 minutes to top up from 5% to 100%. Now, summing up, the Realme 7 retains the previous formula and makes some incremental upgrades like a newer processor, more battery life, and an all-new design. And in doing so, the Realme 7 continues to be a formidable rival to the Redmi Note 9 Pro or the Samsung Galaxy M21 in India. The Realme 7 is good for playing games, watching movies, and in using it as a daily driver. The higher refresh rate and battery life are both good things to have, but there's still work left to be done as far as the cameras are concerned. I mean, the hardware is quite there, but there's a lot more to be done in the software. And if Realme remains committed to improving the experience of using the Realme 7 over the next few months, I don't see a point in not recommending the Realme 7 as one of the best mid-range all-rounders out there. So that was our review of the Realme 7. Let us know what you thought of this review in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. Thanks for watching.